I have always had a fascination with the supernatural. Anything spooky or borderline eerie has always intrigued me for reasons that I cannot explain. Growing up in a split-culture household has had some to do with this, as my dad would tell me stories of hearing the wails of people in the streets in the dead of night and hearing someone speak to him as he fell asleep. I also remember watching ghost hunting shows, and as a result, I would run down my hallway after the lights turned off because I felt like someone was chasing me. Of course, as a kid, these events and stories would chill me to my bones, but as I have gotten older, I can't help but be curious about the unknown. I honestly think that the universe is entirely too big for there not to be a possibility that supernatural beings exist. This is always my response when someone asks me if I believe in aliens because, as I mentioned before, I think there is a very slim chance that we are the only beings in this giant universe where we take up space. Growing up has also given me the privilege of discovering folklore and stories of this genre from all over the world, and it has opened my eyes. In my opinion, it seems a little too coincidental to have many stories of a large ape-shaped being, like Bigfoot or the Sasquatch, from different countries. I don't think I will ever immediately deny the existence of these types of creatures because the fact that many people from all over the world claim to have seen or had an encounter with them seems to make existence a possibility. Most of the time when I mention this, people will roll their eyes and joke about me being gullible, but I see it more as an openness to the idea that there are things we do not understand or know about. When someone mentions they believe in the unknown, it is often followed by the question of whether we have ever experienced or want to experience something like the people in the stories have shared. My response to that is, I don't know. I do not know for sure if I have ever experienced anything supernatural because I was young when it happened, and it gets brushed off as me hearing things. My story is that I was still a child, probably 7 or 8, I was playing in my room, and then I heard my name get called. You're probably thinking, well, was anyone home with you? And the answer is yes. My mom was home in the kitchen, but the voice who called my name was not hers. This voice belonged to someone I held very near and dear to my heart, my grandma, who passed away a few years prior to this event. The voice was so distinctly hers that I froze in place after I heard it. After the initial shock, I got up and went to the kitchen to ask my mom if she called my name. She responded no, and this made me even more confused. To this day, I still think about how much the voice sounded like my grandma's, and I refuse to believe it was my mom's or a trick of hearing. I do not know whether to consider this a supernatural encounter or not, but I have had many strange occurrences like this one, so whenever anyone asks the reason for my belief, I remember the way I felt in those moments. When asked if I ever want to experience anything more or of greater intensity, I don't know the answer to that either because I do not know how I would react or even feel. In a way, it could be a cool story, but it can also be scary and possibly traumatic. That is one of the risks of believing, and I am not sure how to deal with it. Of course, growing up has caused me to open my eyes to more possibilities within this topic, like becoming more rational with the things I have experienced and finding explainable causes for the weird events. I have also gotten pretty good at spotting fake or exaggerated stories and debunking them. However, it has also shown a light on new information and stories, some of which are the most chilling I have ever heard. There are still some stories I heard a while ago that send goosebumps down my arms just at the thought. So, yes, I believe in the unknown, and if I have one piece of advice for anyone about this topic, it is to keep an open mind. You can be a skeptic, but there is a good chance you have had or will have something happen to you that cannot be explained.